Hey everybody, Raymond here, and welcome to Live Sales and Crafting Down South. Flocktail Hour, halfway to Halloween, Pull It Thursday edition. That's a lot, huh? If you're seeing this part, it's probably a replay. I am a few minutes early. I wanted to go ahead and get on here, get myself pulled up, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, this is Live Sales and Crafting Down South's Craft Day. This portion of the night, which is me, I'm the last one tonight, is known as Flocktail Hour, which means there's typically a keyword. No one really knows what the keyword is, but I'm usually told what it is. And that when I say the keyword, typically that means you take a drink of your Flocktail. By Pull It Thursday, which is what I do every first Thursday of the month, is I put out a post at 5 p.m. Central Time asking you for random items from a craft room. I pull some items from that list, and that's what I use for tonight's live and create with that. So that's how Pull It Thursday works. Hey, Wendy darling. I feel like I'm really close to the camera tonight. I got a new phone stand. Doesn't work for this type of live. It works for doing wreath lives and things like that. But I changed the position of my existing phone stand, and now I feel like I'm right in the camera. But I'm okay with it. It's more eye level, so I can look straight on. Hey, Albert. Hey, Sharon. Let me get myself pulled up real quick. Hey, Lucy Love. So I'm going to pull myself up so I can see comments over here also. Thank you, Susan. Let's see here. Well, my laptop doesn't even say I'm live. So there's that. Now it does. Okay. The wonderful world of FB. Mute that. There we go. Yay. Comments are working in both locations. This feels weird. I don't mind it though. Y'all remember our Pumpkin Queen from last season? And our Grim Reaper guy from last season, who also was used for Christmas. Yep, they were still just hanging around, so why not stick them back there for tonight? Because it is, what? Halfway to Halloween. Y'all, I cannot be more excited for the season to start. I mean, think about it. A lot of us focus on Halloween starting in May. Hey, Christy. A lot of us start to focus on Halloween in May, and some in June. In June, we also get that itch for Christmas. And then in July, it's Christmas. And then in August, we finish out the summer with the summery stuff. And that special, all-important holiday that is in August. Who knows what special holiday we have in August? Does anyone know what special holiday we have in August? And then after August, we're back into Halloween. We're in holiday season, y'all. And I cannot be more excited. Of course, there is 4th of July in there also. Don't let me skip that. We do have 4th of July in January. In July also. But that's a short holiday. And we don't do a lot of stuff for the 4th of July. Your husband's birthday's in August? Awesome. When? Hey, Janice. But yeah, so there is this all-important holiday that happens in August. And there's a big celebration in works for it. Just saying. But so, yeah, technically, I mean, yes, it's gonna be May. But it's holiday season. It's what really kicks off the holiday season for us designers. And this one's going to be a little bit different this year. Because most of you guys know me as a clay artist. Where I started off as a wreath maker. And I've been venturing into that world a lot more lately. Back into that world, let me say. Hola, Liza. You should have a package any day now. Just letting you know that. Hey, Marianne. You also should have a package any day now. Hey, Shay. But yeah, so I've been venturing back into that world of the wreathing world a lot more lately. So be prepared to see a lot of different content coming from me, not just all clay. There are a lot of big changes on the horizon for the Evercrafter. Um, a lot of new ventures. We'll talk about one of those here in a little while. Hey, Tassie. We'll talk about one of the Evercrafter's new ventures here in a little bit. But there's a lot of big changes going to be happening over the next few months for the Evercrafter brand. We're expanding the brand some. And by brand, I don't mean that the way that sounds. I know that sounds like a brand, like a store brand, but it's not. I'm still just going to be the same old me. I'm still Raymond. I'm still your Flocktail host. We're just going to have a little bit more going on. I was talking with some fellow creators this morning and throughout the day today about some of those changes. Some of the changes have been in the works for a while. Some have not. There are some changes you won't find out until later on. But I'm pretty... Right, Albert? Storytime with Raymond. Maybe we need to rename again. Same OG. Same OG. Hey, 3A. You'll have to watch the beginning because I went into a long spiel about all... There's a lot of changes coming. A lot of new things happening. So, can't wait to get into more of that. But tonight is halfway to Halloween kickoff. And then tomorrow we have Twisted Realms Crafts hosting an all-day marathon tomorrow for halfway to Halloween. I think she might actually be on right now. I'm not positive. I think I saw that she may be going on tonight. Hey, Tammy. There's actually a lot of people now going live at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. At my time, 7 o'clock my time on Thursdays. There didn't used to be, but there is now. But yeah, so tonight is Live Sales and Crafting Down South. Crafting Day, also known as Flocktail Hour. And it's Pull It Thursday, which is the first Thursday of every month. I put out a post. People recommend things. I don't have the post pulled up, so I can't remember everything that was on there. There was ribbon, yarn, sprinkles, glitter, of course. And of course, Tina's the one who posted glitter. She always does. And she's very specific this time. She said pink glitter. So I'm just going to go ahead and say there is pink glitter on my table. We might be using some glitter, guys. Scissors, sprinkles, stones. I have my pink stones. Sensing a theme here, huh? Hey, Steph. So we're going to work within... Right, you'll see it on Saturday at 3. I post it every Thursday at 5 p.m. Central Time. The post goes live 5 p.m. Central Time every Thursday. But there was a lot going on today, so it may not show up for days. But, so what I gathered from my list of items tonight is pink. So we're going to work with some pink, but that's not going to be our main color. Who was here when we did the 80s birthday party for our Glitzy Gal Ginger? If you were here that day, you saw that I made a troll doll. Hey, M. Jones. Tainta. I have pink glitter. Just for you. Just for you. We're using pink glitter tonight. More than likely. Okay, but anyways, those of you who were here for Ginger's 80s birthday, her birthday party, I made a troll doll. Said troll doll was part of the items that got partially taken apart. A few weeks ago, I took a lot of my old projects, ripped them back down to bases to start fresh with new items. But I saved part of the troll doll. I'll show you what I saved. This is what's left of the troll doll. I saved the body, and the head. Part of the mouth got ripped off. I don't know how that happened because I actually didn't do that. So this is what we have left of the troll doll. Anybody want to take a guess at what we're going to do with said troll doll? Anybody want to make a guess? There is a hint in the picture right here. The picture you see, there is a hint to what we're going to do with said troll doll. Not a mummy, not a zombie. Tina, I loved doing it the other night until I made my fingers hurt from ripping stuff off of styrofoam. I ripped so much clay off of styrofoam, so my fingers hurt. I'll say that, not Pumpkinhead, I will say that Eliza has been the closest to what it might be. Tina, really? It's Halloween. It's not a ladybug on a mushroom. Liza guessed zombie, and she's been the closest. Chucky would be funny. That would be pretty funny. There is a hint in this picture. Tammy got it. We're making a Frankenstein. Tina might have got it too, I don't know. So we're gonna make him into like a fun Frank. We're gonna give him some Frank hair. He's gonna get some blue jeans, a little belly shirt. So that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna turn him into like a little hipster Frank. We're going to cover him with some green. He's going to get some shoes. Little cap sleeve shirt. We got a lot planned for this little guy. Luckily, there's nobody after me tonight. So. But. We're going to pull the head off. He can dance. Well, Tina. Can he dance? That's the question. Because, you know, Frankenstein could dance, supposedly. If you watched the Young Frankenstein movie, he was putting on the Ritz. One of my favorite movies of all time, by the way, is Young Frankenstein. Alright. So, he's already covered with the skin tone. You're not going to see most of this. Okay? You're not going to see most of it. You're going to see a spot of green here for the belly. And of course the head's going to be green. So, I hate to do this, but we got to take the head off. Now he probably looks like Tina's ex-husband. Or, not ex-husband. I'm sorry. Was he ex-husband or baby daddy? I can't remember. Alright, I have two different greens. I have Marie's Great Creations Foam Cupcakes Really Green. And I have Area 54's Grass Green. I'm going to actually mix two of the two together. Yeah, and his arms. Yes. So, I know at this point y'all are probably thinking, you just said you're using pink glitter. His shirt is going to be another color. And we're going to use some glitter on a design on the shirt. going to put that to the side so I can put my clay back in it. Albert, you will be glad to know that I finally placed my clay order. It shipped yesterday. So I have clay on the way. I went ahead and placed my clay order. This is a sticky clay, by the way. The Area 54, it's an older clay, but it's still sticky. So I did place a clay order. So I'm just going to mix these two together. It may not change. It may not be much of a different color, but I needed to use the rest of that green because it was starting to get a little dry. A voodoo doll baby would have been cute too. I did do the voodoo baby last year though. So it did lighten the other green, the Marie green. It made it just a little bit darker than this one, but not much. Like, I could probably use them both at the same time, and you probably wouldn't know. Alright, let me put that in a bag. We don't need much for the belly. So for the belly, I'm literally just going to do a band around it, put its belly button back in, and maybe a little bit of a booty. I'm not positive on that. So what I'm going to do, since I just need a band, pretty much, is I'm just rolling a snake, worm, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to flatten it out. Also, I know last week I said I think I found a desk. I did not find a desk. The desk I was going to order, I like the layout of it, but it's got drawers right here, and then a door on the opposite side, and then this side is open. I wouldn't be able to sit in the middle, and I'm very weird about wanting to be in the middle of the frame, and this would put me like off to the side. So I did not order it. Hey. Sister Sam's at the theater, so she's not with us tonight. She's at the theater. And I'm just wrapping this around towards the back. And I'm pinching my clay together in the back, like a little flap. Why am I doing that? If I do this correctly, and in the right spot, that is going to give us our butt crack. I did not grab my scissors. So I'm going to grab a backup pair. And I'm just going in and I'm cutting down that seam. Making sure it's on there. So you see there's like a little bit of a crack there. Hey, Robin. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my hand and pushing those together a little bit. And then I'm going to take a skewer and I'm going to roll it up through there a little bit. You might see part of it from the top of the pants. That was the intent. If you don't see it, that's fine. I just thought it would be kind of funny. because you are definitely going to see some from the top of the shirt. The top of the shirt is going to be a crop, like a little bit of a crop top, so that you'll be able to see his belly button. So what I need to do is I'm going to take my ball tool, and I'm going to go in that's going to be his belly button. Thank you, Robin. Robin, I've asked you this so many times, and until recently, I knew the answer. Is it Robin with a Y or an I? I have completely forgotten, and I apologize for that, but it's really been bothering me this week that I can't remember which one it is. So I apologize again for that. Hey, Peggy. All right, now what we're going to do for the face. Face is going to be a little difficult because the eyes are already there and I can't take them out. I don't think. Why? Okay, thank you. I'll remember again now. I apologize so much for that. But it hit me today that I was like, I've been spelling your name both ways, and I need to spell it the right way. Nope, they're in there. They're glued. So, you'll answer to both. So I'm just going to roll this out pretty flat. And we're just going to use this and cover the head. So, we have some bad weather coming in tonight. So you might hear some thunder. You might hear my dog whimper. Just letting you know ahead of time. Alright, so my plan is... This is a weird plan. I'm going to take my face. And I put a dot where the middle of the nose is going to be. So that I can try to poke a hole for the eyes. We don't know if that's going to work, but that's what we're going to try. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want to try to get it in the right spot. And again, this may not work at all. But my thought process is, if I do this the right way, which that was not it, I might be able to make this work. Hey, Renee. It's not perfect, but I think it could work. And I'm pushing all my clay towards the back because the hair is going to cover the back. And I'm going to try to go in and clean up around the eyes where you can still see some of the white. And if any of my clay rips by any chance, that's also okay. because we'll just make that a scar. A little stitch there. Who remembers the movie from the 80s? I think we might have talked about this last year. Called The Garbage Pail Kids. I'm trying to be very careful here not to mess up the front. The Garbage Pail Kids, 3A. There was a movie in the 80s called The Garbage Pail Kids. It was these dolls, and they kind of looked like Cabbage Patch Kids, except they all were like gross. Like one was Snotty Sally. Can't remember all their names, but there was all of them had something gross, like Pukey Ralph or Wreck It. Like one was a boy and he threw up all the time. One had gas really bad, like Farty Frank or something like that. It was a gross, like the movie was pretty gross, but it looked like giant puppets that played all the characters. Anyways, I want to make one this year for Halloween, just because. And I want to make it from an actual garbage pail, like an actual. I want to use a what is it called? I want to use a Cabbage Patch doll and turn it into that. Yes, that's what it is. That is exactly what you're hearing. Garbage Pail Kids. They lived in a garbage can until they got moved into somebody's basement. Alright, so not a bad job covering it. But I'm going to try to take my tool. I'm going to try to take this tool here and push it off of the white. Yes, they had trading cards. Yes. Hola, Kathleen. So I'm having to be very, very careful here to remove that clay from off of the white areas. I'm not really worried about messing up the area right around the eye. But in the process, I'm kind of giving him eyelids without actually having to try. So that's pretty good. Kathleen, my dear, did I hear that you got some good news? Did y'all hear that? Hola, Marcela. Beautiful. For some reason, I thought that you had got some good news today. See, you can kind of see the whites around his eyes again now. But in the process, it also kind of gave him an eyelid, or an eyebrow line a little bit. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Hey, Holly. You heard it too, Marianne? All right, so I'm not going to put him back on the body yet because I want to put the clothing on the body first. Anybody that's just coming in, we're making like a really fun Frankenstein. I do need to take a little bit of the green real quick. Just a little bit. I'm going to take this little tiny bit of green. And just a little tiny bit of this charcoal gray. And by a little tiny bit, I mean literally that much. I'm going to mix it in there. Your Cancer. Hey, Pam. And the reason I'm doing that is just to darken this a little bit. I want it to be green, but I want it to be a darker green. And you'll see why in just 1 second. Thanks, Barbara. Let me compare it to his face. It needs to be a little bit more. Probably not that much. Oh, we're making a little fun Frankenstein if I didn't just say that. I know I started to, but I don't know if I finished it. I want him to have green lips, but I want him to be a dark color. Typically, that much gray would have already turned it really dark. And it didn't. So let's add a little bit more. Let's see what this does. A little bit more. So take a little bit more than I told you to take the first 2 times. I did remember to turn my fan off and my air vent, but now I'm hot. I should have just went with black lips, I guess. And you can do your lips whatever color you want. You're not really going to see much of them on what I'm doing. But this is the color I was wanting. Like a dirty green. Kind of mossy. Make a little ball here. Let me close that clay back up. I'm just making a little ball. I'm going to roll said ball into a little bit of a worm shape. And then I'm going to twist it between my fingers to point it on each end. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our ball tool again, just any of them, and we're going to take it right in the middle. We're making this little shape. That's going to be his lips. Why are they so small? We all know Raymond likes to make big lips. There is a reason for them being that size. Y'all ready? A bubble. He's going to be blowing bubbles. I did I did. So, see? He's blowing a bubble. That's a large bubble. Let me try the medium size. Only downside is it squishes his nose a little bit. I honestly think I like the bigger bubble better. I think we're going to stick with the big bubble. Let me just reshape, fix his nose a little bit because I made it a little bit flat there for a second. All right. I'm going to, for right now, stick a skewer in there, or a part of a skewer, to help hold the bubble in until I glue it. Skewer will come out, but for right now, we're just going to leave it in there. Yeah. Okay. Awesome news. That's great news. Okay. Put the small bubble back to the side. Save that for another one. Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to keep this little bit of color here. Actually, let's just go ahead and do it. I'm going to make some little balls and roll them into little tiny skinny worms. And those are going to be our lines for our stitches. So let me go ahead and put a few stitches on there. They kind of look like worms. Right now, anyway. Alright. So I'm taking some more, and I'm just putting lines across those lines. I know typically you would do the additional lines in like black or, something. I wanted to keep mine all green. And I also wanted to make sure I put them on before I put on the hair. Hey, Mona Boudreaux. Thank you. We're making a little zombie. We're making a Frankenstein, little Frankenstein today. He's going to have on a crop top. We're just going to give him the 2. He don't need many. He may get one on his arm, some on his arms too, but. Alright, I'm just going to put that right there. If it gets a little green on it, that's fine. I can remix it. Let's put his head back to the side. So far we have the belly. It's going to have a shirt here and pants below. And that's going to be his head. So let me put this right here. Let's do his shoes, then pants, then shirt. Well, hello, Madam Mix-a-Lot. So the body is made from a snowman body that I got. Was it a snowman or a gingerbread body that I got from the Dollar Tree at Christmas time? This is Glitz and Glue's soft black. That we're going to use for the shoes. I was trying to see if I left out a circle cutter. I did not. I thought I did, but I don't see it. Well, dang it. I did not leave a circle cutter out like I thought I did. It's okay. Hey, Sandy. Alright, so for the shoes, we're going to build the shoes on his body. We're not going to make a shoe and then put on him. Just going to roll out some black clay. I wanted to do the shoes before the pants. So I made a circle. This is a 4-inch circle. It has a stamp that goes with it, but we don't need the stamp, obviously. And I'm going to cut it in half. And we're going to use this for the start of the shoe. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my half circle and put it on his foot. And roll it around. So that's going to be the front of the shoe. And I'm just going to push it towards the bottom. I'm not worried about it being perfect. Do the same thing on the other one. And push it in the same way. I'm just kind of rolling it towards the front to cover it towards the bottom of the shoe where the sole will be. But it will still get a sole, so it's okay. Did yours arrive today? Nice. Maricela just got her package. I hope it made it safely. Y'all don't understand the stress I go through hoping packages arrive safely. Like, it stresses me out more than anything. Forgot who it was I sent one to last year, and the box arrived damaged so bad, but luckily the item was good. So when I ship clay items, I ship them in tons of bubble wrap. When I ship my cakes and things, I typically use a lot of tissue paper and possibly some bubble wrap, depending. So that's going to be the front of the shoes. That's incredible that it arrived while you're watching me. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make another circle and cut it in half again. Hi. You have room. Look.
Oh, that's cute.
We're making a Frank.
That's cute.
I figured Corey would like it.
Yeah.
He likes that kind of stuff. Right, Kathleen, you have gotten one of my pieces before. I wrap, like when I use bubble wrap, I use almost a whole roll of bubble wrap on a package. Like I really do, especially if it's got like a lot of detail to it. Y'all like how he just comes in, he says hi, and then he's out. So, I think we talked about this before, but Corey also has a podcast that he's part of that talks about black centric movies and those type of things. They recorded today also, so that's what he's been doing. That makes good sense, Janice. I never thought about that. Yeah, like Kathleen bought one of my plants last year, and it arrived safe. I was so excited, and I wrapped every little tentacle and everything. All right, so up here we did it where the circle went down. On the back of the foot, we're actually going to do it where the circle goes up. Like that. And again, I'm just pressing those edges towards the bottom. And on the rounded part, I'm just making sure that those edges are attached to the leg area. All right. Now we're going to put the other one on the same way. Marianne's has got tissue paper and bubble wrap because she got something done in clay and something done in fabric. So she's got both in her box. Now the hard part is when you're like this right here. And you got to get in that little area right there. There we go. Huh. I will keep that in mind too. Our UPS guy that comes to our job, to my day job where I ship everything from, y'all, he gets so tickled. He'll put like he doesn't even like ask anymore. He just comes in. He's like, "Is Raymond here?" He's like, "He's got another package." And sometimes he'll be like, "Hey, so, well, I'll see you tomorrow." Like he gets a kick out of how many packages I get. So that's the back of our shoe. All right, now let's do our sides. We've been on 40 minutes, y'all. And I really didn't expect this project to take very long. For the sides, I'm just making a worm. And we're going to flatten that worm out. Rolling it this way a little bit. Then we're going to roll it the other way. I'm going to take my straight tool and cut the edge, one of the edges straight. Cut off the ends. I'll go ahead and cut this side straight also. I'm going to cut it in half, roughly. Cut that one down a little bit more. We're going to take these two little strips that are actually almost the exact same size. We're just going to connect them on the sides here. What I want to do is I want to start almost even with that side right here. I'm not trying to blend them. I just want to connect them and wrap it towards the front. Okay? Like that. Just make sure they're connected. And on the front, roll that under. See how it's got you can see this little flap right here? I'm going to cut that off at an angle and flatten it down. Let me turn it a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Remember, on the sides it's going to be a little bit harder because you do have that other clay there. And cut it at an angle also. Now, I'm going to take my little tool and push it between them, just so I can get that back section to lay down. It's the inside of the pant. The inside of the shoe, not really worried about how it looks right there. But see, it kind of looks like the front of a shoe now. Okay? Now you need to do that on your other shoe also. Hey, Peaks, Congratulations on winning the mystery cake contest. Mama Jones. Mama Jones. How you doing, Mama Jones? Hey, jellyfish. I'm gonna pull out a little bit more black. We are making a baby Frank. The theme that I pulled from the Pull It Thursday list today was pink. So I pulled some of those items in pink. I absolutely love the moon on your cake, Peeps. Like, I think you should do a tutorial, pre-recorded tutorial. You don't have to show yourself if you don't want to. You can if you want to. Showing how you made your moon. It's fabulous. And I would be interested in learning. Again, I'm just rolling that out. Is it really? It's incredible. You did such a good job on it. Cut off those sides again. Hey Teresa, how you doing? We're gonna pretend that that is the middle. It's pretty close. Cut it down a little bit more. So those who are just coming in, today was Pull It Thursday, and I took the theme of pink from all the pink items that kept getting suggested. And that is what we're doing for our halfway to Halloween. Is right now you don't see any pink, I know. But I promise pink is coming. We did use a little bit earlier, but pink is coming, I promise. So I made these a little bit too short, so I'm just kind of stretching it out a little bit. Again, it's Frankenstein. They don't have to be perfect. The tree trunk, it's still back here. I'm doing that one tomorrow, on tomorrow's live. I cannot, y'all, I'm so excited for that project. For those who don't know about the tree trunk is something that we started last week before last. It will be used tomorrow. And it's pretty cool what we're doing with it. I feel like Corey just turned the TV off in the other room because it got real quiet over there. It might have actually timed out. Does y'all's TV do that? When I hate that it does that. It's like, are you still watching? Yes. Are you calling me out because I'm sitting here watching TV and I wasn't on the same channel all day? So there's our little shoes. They might get some laces. They may not. I'm not really sure. So let's make him some pants. Hey, Dewey. We're going to put his pants on him. And then we can do his shirt and his arms. those that didn't see it before, here's our head for our little Frank. He's blowing a bubble. He probably needed a little shading, and I didn't give him any, but I probably should have. And if I knew where my makeup palette was right now, I would go ahead and do it. But I honestly don't know where I put my makeup palette. I cleaned. Thank you, Peaks. Alright, let's sit him to the side for a minute. Put these to the side. Alright. Let's make the right color. We're going to take this light blue. D, here. This is our Grimm. And this is our Pumpkin Queen. We made Grimm last year. I'm not sure if I did him all live. I know we all worked on him on a live. He's like 36. He's over 36 inches tall. He was also used as part of my Christmas stuff. He was the Ghost of Christmas Future. Tonight we're making a Frank, a little baby Frankenstein. This is his head. He doesn't have his hair yet. And right now, this is his body. We're fixing to put pants on him and a little crop top. Right now I'm taking some of this light blue from Area 54. And we're going to mix some gray into it to darken it up. Thank you, Trina. How are you? So, from tonight's pull it list, there was a lot of pink things suggested, so I went with the color pink, which we've yet to see much of other than the bubble. But I promise y'all he is getting some pink. There will be pink involved. Have some dry spots. He's going to get clay hair. I have black fur, but I want to use the clay. Now I'm thinking of giving him spiky hair, of course, but instead of all the little small spikes like I do a lot of times, I think I'm going to do big spikes. I'm going to mix some gray in here, this charcoal gray, to darken this up. We're going for a denim-y, like a dark denim look. So I may actually end up needing more of the gray. I'm definitely going to need more of the gray. But if I add it all in at one time, it's going to end up being way too dark. So, hey Denise, I'm looking for that gray blue color, which is where we're getting. I might actually leave it a little bit marbled. I don't mind that actually. Kind of gives it like a stone wash look. Might add a little bit more gray. That's probably going to be too much gray now. We'll see. So, Who all here watched the Make It for Mom event I was in a few weeks ago? Last Friday. If you didn't, that's fine. It was a busy day. But the reason I'm asking is because I made an announcement during that event. Those that were there know what the announcement was. Excuse me. For those that weren't, I'll tell you now. The Evercrafter is now going to be designing and selling tutorials on how to make wreath attachments, different wreath attachments. The first wreath attachment that I'll be teaching, the tutorial should be coming out within the next week or so. Well, within the next week, excuse me. Plans were to have it out like this week. And it's just been a really crazy week for me. So the Evercrafter is expanding into, like I said earlier, we're getting back into the wreath world. But we are going to be selling tutorials on how to make wreath attachments. So the green you see is actually not shorts. That is his belly, like his middle of his body. But you're going to see that all the way around. You will see that. So what I'm doing is I'm making a square, pretty much. Thank you, Peaks. I'm going to go in to roughly the middle of the square. It's a rough square. Trying to center it here so I can actually kind of get to where that's almost centered. So that's going to be the front of the pants. They're a little long. Cut that off. Let me bring him over here. So, alright, I'm going to do this a little bit different than I planned. I'm actually going to cut them even shorter. And I'm going to cut them straight up the middle. Like that. This is going to make it easier to put on him. I'm going to start at the side. No, I'm going to start in the middle of the front. Didn't quite work how I wanted it to, guys. I didn't make them wide enough. Let's try that one more time. I made them too skinny. So yeah, that's part of the expansion that's happening with the brand, with the Evercrafter. We're going to start teaching wreath attachment classes. It'll be a paid tutorial. So that's the only big news I can tell you today. There's other things on the horizon. I just can't get into all that. Not yet, anyway. So I'm hoping that some of y'all that are also wreath makers may want to learn. Right now, if you watched the event, I did say on there that if you want to be included in the wreath attachment class, even though it's going to be a pre-recorded thing, to message me at the Evercrafter to add your name to an email list. And I will add you to the email list so that when I send out everything, all the details, you'll have that. It is going to be $14.95 for the tutorial, which is standard. That's about the standard rate for that, or the standard, for that. So, and the tutorial that I'm going to show, the first one is going to teach you how to take one item and do it 2 different ways. The first one is, it's a ginger jar. If you saw the picture of my wreath, there's a vase and a ginger jar on there done in the blue and white fabric. Those, I'm going to show you how to make the ginger jar, and then how you can take that same design and turn it into the vase option. And that, the attachment workshops or tutorials have been in the works for a while. It's something that's been going on behind the scenes for a little while. You're actually going to get to see a few more of those soon. Awesome, Trina. Alright, so this time I just made a square. It's entirely too long, so I'm going to trim it down some more. We're going to keep it wide, but we're going to make it short. Do the same thing here. And it still may be too big. Yep, still too tall. Let's see about that. Just a little bit more. This guy's got little short legs, y'all. That'll do it. So don't worry about it not being perfect, like as far as the sides go, because we're going to add a, what's it called? He's going to get a cuff around the bottom of his jeans. I am cutting it on the side. So there's part of his jeans on. Let's do the other side. Try to go to about the same spot. I overlapped them slightly so that it'll almost look like a zipper area in the front. So there's his little jeans. Remember, he's getting a cover on the side, so that's fine. Now we need to make the back. Yeah, his belly button's going to be out. All right, I'm going to roll that out. Move him up there a little bit. Yes. The ankles are going to be covered by his cuffs. That we're going to put like a little cuff around the bottom of the jeans. If the clay was a little bit firmer of a clay, I would have done it all in one, like made the cuffs on as I did it. But because it is a softer clay, it wasn't going to work out that way. Now I'm just going straight across the back. I didn't cut the back into separate pieces like I did on the front. Alright, I'm going to go in and cut that off. And push them together. Then I'm going to go in between the back area and roll it in a little bit. We're giving him a little bit of a donk. He's got a little bit of a donk. So, 31 days of content started today, right? For Sweet Success Studios. I'm making a flamingo for 31 days. For those that did not know that yet, that's my project for 31 days. I probably will start it next week. So I'm just taking this little piece here. It's not long enough, obviously. But that's going to be... I'm going to cut it down a little bit smaller than that. I'm going to make it about half that size. And that's going to be the cuff on his jeans. Thank you, Wendy, darling. I'm going to try to make the cuff go all the way to the same spot on both sides. And I'm pushing it down, kind of flattening it out a little bit. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and do this side. It's going to be a little bit harder because I did have those mess ups. Right, this actually comes in pretty handy. Albert told me I would like it. That's what he thought. And I was like, yeah, that would work perfect. But that's literally the first time I've done that. Was just now. Tonight. I got my tool stuck again, so I'm just going to push it in there like that. There. Alright. Do the same thing here. Straight around to the seam and push it down. Take my tool, go in there and push it down. And let's flatten it out. And by flattening it out, it's also helping me cover those areas that didn't get covered the way they should have. Well, hello, Sandy. Alright, now let's do the back. I'll try to push that in there. That didn't quite go as planned. It doesn't look bad, so it's okay. So again, I'm just flattening that out a little bit. Doing good, Sandy. How are you? So the back cuff didn't quite go as good as the front cuff, but it's okay. Again, take my tool, push it in. Alright, so there's his little pants. If you really wanted to, you could give a piece around the top of the pants. I'm not, but you could. Hey, Candy! On your craft page? Awesome. We're making a baby Frank. We've been on an hour and 20 minutes, and we're getting there. There's the bottom half. His shirt's going to start like right there, so you're going to see his belly button. Here's his head without his hair. He doesn't have hair yet. He's going to be blowing a bubble. Let me put this in a container. Sweet Success Studios. That would have been last fall, maybe August, September of last year. Should be. This is going to be the color for his shirt. This is also from Area 54. No idea what color it is, though. Thank you. I made him last year, but I can't remember when I made him last year. But it was before Halloween, and I can't remember how much of it I did on a live. I don't know if y'all can tell in the video or not, but his little lantern actually it lights up and flickers. So his shirt is going to be this purpley color because I think it looks good with the green. I moved my trash can over there. It's easier for me. No problem, D. So for the shirt, right now we're just doing the part, not the arms. So just this part of the shirt, and the arms will just attach on. For a minute, I thought Sandy said that she had chili today, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds great." But she said she had a chill day. This clay is very sticky. Like, super sticky, y'all. I've never had clay stick like that before. That's weird. I did. It was a few weeks ago. It was not very much fun. We got there at like 9:30 and we were home by 11. Yeah. There was no drinks allowed. So that was a little strange. I don't know. My spray's not in here. Right? It's super sticky. So I'm just going to wet it with a wet wipe because that works sometimes. If not, we'll just make it work. And I've used this before, and it wasn't that bad. So it's really weird. I just need to make it big enough to use a cutter on it. Yeah, I've heard that too. Isn't it a pretty color? This is entirely too big. So we're gonna have to freehand our circle. Right? So short-lived. I'm actually going to draw around that to try to keep my shape. And see if this actually works. And it may not, which is fine. Not perfect, but it'll work. Yeah, not perfect, but it'll work. Right? Like, some people were there less than 20 minutes. It's really just not. Yeah. So, it's not super thick, but it's thick. I'm actually think I'm going to use the side that has all the weird texture to it. I think. That's what I'm thinking. I have these cups. I'm going to use the bottom of one of those cups to decide how big I want the neck area to be. Work with what you got. What kind of ball was it? Oh, it was a all black affair. Like we all had to wear solid black for a person's birthday party. Food was good. Yep, I made that entirely too big. Let's try that all again, you guys. I'm sorry. Somebody just said every... Oh, yep, everybody loves Raymond. I'm glad that you guys love me. I'm actually rolling it out a little bit thinner too. That'll work. I'm going to do the same thing again. And I'm okay with the little bit of texture around the edges of it. My thought is it'll make it kind of look like it's ripped a little bit. Thank you, Peaks. Like, I'm okay with, like, I'm actually going to go in and kind of pinch around the edges where it's not perfectly round and it's not a perfect edge. Kind of make it look a little like, I don't want to say ruffled, but where it looks like it's been ripped and stretched and those kind of things. Make sense? Instead of using this to cut my middle out, I'm just going to use this. We'll stretch it out a little bit, make it a little bit more round. That's going to be, let me see, if that's the middle, it should technically be just about right. And I'm just making a little hole there. The head's going to sit directly on it, but I wanted a little hole right there in the middle. More so that I would know exactly where the middle of it was. I know right now it kind of looks like a blouse top, but just trust me on this one. Now that I've got it started, I can go in and cut off the excess, and then re-push it. Now I'm just going to go in those edges I just cut. I'm just re-squeezing them and pushing it down. There's probably 10 million ways you could do what I'm doing. See, it looks kind of like it's been tattered and torn. All right, now that that part of the shirt is on, we can put his head on. So that's where we're at so far. Let's throw some arms. Let's make his arms real quick. We'll attach his arms, and then we'll decide what if we want to stay on or go. I still have to put the pink on the shirt. He is going to get some pink on the front of his shirt. Thank you. Just going to make 2 balls. Thank y'all. We're going to try to make 2 balls roughly the same size. Right, it's a lot more forgiving. Like, there's an area right there actually that I probably should have blended a little bit better. But his arm is going right there, so I'm not worried about it. These are not the same size. All night party. Anybody talk to ma'am? I know she's traveling today to pick up her son from college, but I was just wondering how she's doing, how her trip's doing. I haven't talked to her today. I saw that she was in IKEA earlier though. They're roughly the same size. The bubble is actually a ball, like an ornament ball that I bought last year. I bought like 7 or 8 of them, I think it was, from Marie with Great Creations Faux Cupcakes in one of her sales that she had. All right, I'm just rolling this into a thick log. I'm going to pull him over here so I can see if I think they're big enough. Yes. So this is roughly 5 inches long. But what I want, after I roll this one into the same size, I'll show you what we're going to do next to make it have hands. On our way home? Okay, good. So that one got a little bit shorter. I mean, a little bit longer. So let me roll this out a little bit more. Oh. Did I? No, I didn't. I told you that about our bears. 3A. Yeah. They're roaming rather close to our house. like they've been seen within like 15 miles of our house. Crazy. All right, so we have our 2 logs. We got Pickles. Where's Mama Jones? He needs hands. So I'm gonna take my hand here and put it about an inch high above it, and I'm gonna roll it back and forth, almost like I'm making a wrist area. So I just indented it slightly. And I'm going to take my hand and kind of flatten that area out a little bit. Like that. Where's my... Take our ball tool. Do the same thing on the other one. Flatten it out. A deep, short, short. Okay. Now we're not ready to put them on yet. We got to do one more thing. We got to add some sleeves. Hey, Becca Boo. How are you? Are you anxious? Don't be. You're in the right place. You're doing the right thing for you. Yes, 3A bears. Louisiana black bears have made their way back into the cities. It's crazy. Thank you, Becca. So now we're going to make its little cap sleeves. Oh, Becca, you see what we're making? We're making a baby Frank. Look, he got a belly button and his little crop top on. And he's blowing bubbles. I'm going to roll this out. We're just going to make some little areas to be little sleeves on this stuff. Set for Tuesday. Awesome. It kills me that it's 3 a.m. over there. I mean, I know it is, but it's just so weird to me. Yeah. Like we have a wildlife reserve right behind our neighborhood. But it's typically just deer and stuff like that. But nope, there's full-on bears. Luckily, they've not been seen in our neighborhood, so that's a plus. We did have a bobcat get killed at the entrance to our neighborhood last year, though. No, what? A kangaroo on the interstate? That is tickling me. Not a kangaroo on the interstate. I'm going to try to roll that out a little bit more. Make it a little bit longer. Yeah, we have pretty much all of that. Minus the there was one of those we didn't have. Yeah, we have all that wildlife. It's crazy. Alright, now these are going to be our little sleeves. I'm going to start on the inside of the arm and wrap it around. I'm not worried about going all the way around like that, because that part's going to be touching the body anyways. And see how I left a little bit at the top? that'll make sense in a minute. Same thing on this arm. Start there, bring it around. And that one I did not do right. I didn't leave enough fabric at the top. It's okay. So, we need some toothpicks. Toothpicks. Y'all, I love our alligators. I love the gators. I freaking love gators. I actually want to go do the swamp tour, the nighttime swamp tour. But Corey does not want to go do the nighttime swamp tour. Alright, I'm just putting that in, and I actually did that at the wrong angle. Dang it. I need to go that way. More like that. Try to get them on the same spot. Okay. They're not perfect, but it'll be alright. So I'm going to take this, push it in, like that. And down. Now I'm going in and kind of pushing it down to make sure it connects. And before I attach it all the way, he's supposed to be holding this, but I did not do it correctly, so I'm going to try to make it work. You're not really going to see as much of his belly button as I had hoped. Hey, how you doing? Okay, I got to find a way, because I didn't do that right. I'm going to put a toothpick under there. I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can try to make that stay. Hopefully it'll work. We're going to hope it stays. Let me go ahead and attach the other arm. This is the one I didn't do correctly. And this one definitely didn't do correctly, but we're going to hope it works. And this one's just going to be kind of on his hip a little bit. He was going to hold something too on that side, but I changed my mind. I could have glued it, but the clay being sticky, it actually already stuck on there. So it's kind of stuck now, so we're just going to hope that it holds. That's what we're going to hope. So you can still kind of see his belly button, but not as much as I was hoping you could. I put the hand in the wrong spot. There we are so far with his little bubble. He's going to have an ice cream. Oh my goodness. Just going in and making sure that that's all attached. Okay. I was going to give him like little rough caps on the sleeves, but we're not. We're going to leave it like it is. There is some texturing on the arms from letting it dry too long before I bent it. Alright. So I would probably add the pink. Because I'm adding the pink, y'all, I promise. He's going to have something on his shirt done in the pink. I will probably do that after the live. But I am going to start putting some hair on so you can at least see how the hair is going to look. He's going to be pretty cute. Alright, so what I'm going to do, put this green clay back up. Is I'm taking my black clay. I'm going to make some balls. I'm going to say these are probably about an inch. Roughly an inch. I'm going to turn them into spikes. Any size you want, right? Let me turn him towards me so I make sure I'm putting him in the right spot. Yep. You don't have to do all the same size of these. So first, we're going to go straight down the middle of the head. Dry time on this is going to be ridiculous, y'all. Night. Hope you have a great night. And I'll see you soon. He could have a hawk. He definitely could, actually. Right, it might be dry by next year. Maybe. Like, I definitely want them to remain individual. I don't want them to combine. I keep waiting for Tina to come back in here and be like, you're still on. Or Corey to come in here and be like, it's time to get off. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? We're making a baby Frank. He needs his bolts. His bolts are going to be up here, though, I think. I'm a firm believer that the bolts should be down here. But he doesn't really have a neck, so... Because he doesn't have a neck, he's probably going to have bolts on the top. You know, I could have just gave him a pink shirt instead of the purpley pink. That could have worked. No problem, Cheryl. Well, I got this side, like, this side is stuck to his head. But yeah, if I put him, like, right above the arms, yeah. Yeah, the shirt color, I love it. But if I would have given the pink shirt, like regular pink, then that would have been my pink element. It didn't have to have a pink element, but that's what I chose from the list tonight. So don't forget that tomorrow you have Friday's Fabulous Fakers. Then you also have the Spanglish Amigas. And you have Twisted Realms Crafts Halfway to Halloween Marathon. So there is a full day of lives to watch tomorrow. A full day. I use some of everything, Cheryl. I know a lot of people don't like to mix the clays, like use different brands or different smooth and firm. I literally use it all. There's probably three. Yes, there's definitely 3 different clays on this piece. I use it all. A lot of times when it comes to the clays, it depends on what I'm making as to what I will use. Like, I will say that if I'm doing cookies, I'm going to use firm. If I'm doing a lot of sculpting, I'm going to use a softer clay. I did not quite do that one right, but it's okay. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this, but I am. I'm going to give him eyebrows. I don't have a favorite. I use literally. Hold on, I dropped a piece of clay. Well, I don't know where it went. I have a leopard print rug, and black clay just is blended in. Now I will say that though I don't have a favorite clay, I use most, like, depends on colors really. Like Maria Great Creations Faux Cupcakes, I prefer her white and her green, her teal and her lilac and mustard over everyone else's of those same colors. But like Glitz and Glue, I prefer her brown. Um, and I also prefer her gingerbread over everybody else's. So it's weird. Like I have specific colors from certain people. Aha. Okay, that'll work. So did he really need eyebrows? No. But are they cute? Yes. I got tickled. I kind of love that. Let me get a little bit more of the black. Actually, I'm going to use the gray. I'm mixing this little bit of black I had left and some gray together to make his bolts. Now I'm probably going to go in, I'm going to add some more hair also. Just a little bit more. Cut me a toothpick in half. And that's what I'm going to use to put the bolts on. Let me turn him towards me so I can see where to put the bolts. We're going to go right here and right here. That's where his bolts are going. Thank you, Peaks. All right, I'm going to make me a little ball. 2 little balls. And I'm going to push those on. And push them against his body. Kind of like that. Same thing over here. Push that back against his body. So that's going to be the start of his bolt. I've got some of my clay that has literally, I've had for 2 years, and I'm still using it. So you're fine. Now, there are some people with certain climates that say theirs doesn't last as long. There. There's just little bolts. Alright, guys. We pretty much did it. I'm going to finish up his hair, and I'm going to go in and add something to his shirt and finish off his little ice cream. And I might still add something to the shoes. Not really sure. But thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. We were on 2 hours, y'all. We haven't done a 2-hour live in so long. Thank you for those that stuck it out with me tonight. It's been a blast. Like I said, if you are interested in taking or taking part in whatever, however you want to word it, in the wreath attachment tutorial, it is 1495. Message me here, and I will add you to the list so that once it's recorded and ready or it's finished, I can send out those information for you. Hey Maria, how you doing? Look, we made a little Frankenstein guy blowing bubbles. I smushed his head right there, y'all. Dang it. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, if you're interested in learning the wreath tutorial, it is, like I said, $14.95. And just inbox me here and I'll add you to the email list for it. But until I see you guys again, which will be tomorrow for live sale. Nope. Tomorrow for Twisted Realm Crafts Halfway to Halloween Marathon. I am on tomorrow afternoon. So catch me for that. Also, don't forget, tomorrow you do have your Friday's Fabulous Fakers and your Spanglish Amigas tomorrow night. Alright? So until I see you guys again, be wonderful, make something wonderful, live happily ever crafter. Bye, y'all.